We're here at St George's Park for a special edition of PFATV. The Players Association continues to provide excellent support and development for the women's game, so we're here to talk to members of the England team ahead of the European Championships.
Everybody's excited. I think everybody's really enjoying the training that we're doing. We're working really hard and it's a different type of pressure being one of the favourites for the tournament, and it's just about enjoying the games and enjoying the tournament experience, because as a player for your country, that's what you want to be doing, is playing in these European Championships.
So Casey, you've been part of a number of England squads over the years. How does this one compare?
I think it's probably one of the best. We're coming into this environment as full-time professionals now, and many tournaments gone by we've been part-time players, working around full-time jobs and training part-time. So to be able to come here in the best condition we possibly can, I think this is the fittest team I've ever been part of. So we go into the tournament, full of confidence and raring to go.
And we've set a standard, I think, for ourselves, and we know what it feels like to medal now, and especially in a big tournament. And we want more of that feeling. You've
got to have a little bit of luck in tournaments. You've got to play well. I think it's really important we win our group. And there's some tough teams. I actually believe the Euros for us is harder to win than the World Cup. So we'll have to go some, to win it, and we've never done it before, so we have to go to places we've never been before.
And as a member on the PFA management committee, how did that come about, and how are you finding it?
I'm fortunate enough to be represented by Matthew Buck at the PFA, and it was something that we talked about in terms of becoming England captain and maybe having a voice in terms of how the PFA could help the girls regarding central contracts and their own player contracts. So for me it was important that we had females on the board. I think Casey's on there as well, so it's important that the boys see what happens in the women's game and how different it is, and we can support each other that way.
I give a lot of input on the women's side of the game, what needs to change, what the PFA can help with, what they need to support with, and how they can influence things within the women's game, and that's really important. And I'm a strong believer that with the PFA on board, they are really, really changing things for women's football. The women's game's moved so quickly in the last few years. We weren't educated about contracts, things that we were entitled to, and just day-to-day support and advice, whether it's mental health advice and where to go for support like that, whether it's contracts, whether it's getting support for injuries, using the scheme down at St George's Park.
Yeah, they've played a massive role, not just in my career but in terms of women's football in this country, a massive role. I think we're centrally contracted players for England, and they were able to be in the middle between us and the FA to make sure that the girls got the right contract that would suit us and we were protected, as well as the FA, the WSL contracts as well. I think it was important that they played a massive role to get the girls protected again. But for me personally, being represented by the PFA and Matthew Buck for over 4 or 5 years now, I think it's made a massive role in my career. I think
I've got a lot of respect for the PFA because they've helped me start my degree, and I'm studying at MMU, the Masters of Sports Directorship, and I'm so honoured to be on the course, and I'm really enjoying it, and I don't think I could have done it without the assistance of the PFA.
I'd encourage every single player to sign up because they can help you, they can advise you, and you never ever know what's going to happen in the women's game. You look at the the situation with Notts County. Players went into training on a Friday, and Friday afternoon no longer had a job, and the PFA stepped in and helped those players. And without being a PFA member, that support wouldn't have been there.
And what would it mean to football in this country and the women's game if you were to win the Euros?
Everything. I think that's the aim. We want to be successful, and we see that when we are successful. It inspires young girls to play football, but also it makes sure that people are interested in our game and come and watch the games. So we want to try and emulate the success of the World Cup, but maybe go a few more medals up and go for gold.